Tony, welcome to Gun.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Exactly. Hi, everybody. It is
Thursday. Welcome. It's the Knockem Dead Comedy Show here on Governor's Comedy Club Podcast, the YouTube channel. I do believe we're on Facebook too, but we do have a special guest coming in, and I'm sure you guys would like to comment and say hi to him and maybe ask him a question or something. So, if you're going to do that, please go to the YouTube feed because that is where we're monitoring the comments. So head on over to Gov's Comedy Club Podcast on YouTube, and you can comment there. You can say hi, and yeah, we'll be reading the comments. Please share the link to the show on all your socials. Hit the thumbs up. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Governor's Comedy Club Podcast. We appreciate it very much. And guess what? Bob Nelson, our very special guest, who will be should be coming in any minute. He's playing Governor's Comedy Club tomorrow night, right down the hall here, and we will be giving away a pair of tickets. Free admission for 2 lucky people who would like to come see Bob Nelson tomorrow night. But before that, you can see him in here. Hopefully he'll be showing up soon. In the meantime, Mike and I are here. We're hanging out.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Who cares?
Not Andy. I thought...
Delved right in there, didn't you?
Oh, of course. Fremder made me laugh. My brother was in here.
Guy.
When he wants to be. My brother was in here the other day, and he had like a big turtle, like a big sweatshirt, and it was all black, very similar. And Fremder said he looked like Uncle Fester. And what was it? He said something on Friday about. Oh, he said something about you looking like a turtle or something. I forget exactly what he said, but I
beg your pardon?
Yeah, he did. He said something about looking like a turtle. Oh. But that stuff makes me laugh. I find that stuff like
a snapping turtle.
Okay.
Okay.
What's that? Is that a turtle that bites people?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're not going to bite me, are you?
No, I won't bite you. You're my friend.
You can bite Fremder if you want. He might like it. All right, what are we doing here? Do that. Go like that. Okay. John Rusciello's watching. North Face jacket in the house. Fremder, nice outfits today. You guys look like checkers. Yes, we do.
Wow, very funny.
That is funny. We do look like checkers.
Yeah, yeah. What are you going to fight fires after this?
No, I was going to go jump down chimneys and give out presents. I don't know. That's all I had. See, that's why Bob Nelson needs to come in here because he's a professional who really makes people laugh. Bob Nelson playing Governor's Comedy Club tomorrow night. I got to ask him. I don't know when he's played here last, and I want to talk to him. I mean, this is where he got his start.
It is.
There were a few other clubs on the island, but this was one of them. Him and Rob Bartlett, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, and Eddie Murphy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bartlett and Nelson and Murphy used to call themselves identical triplets, and they would go around doing like improv shows together.
Did not know that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Is it out there in the hallway? There's this one famous picture that you'll see everywhere. Jackie Martling, Eddie Murphy. There's a picture from here. Yep, there it is. So that's Rob Bartlett. That's Murphy. There's Jackie the Joke Man.
Wow.
And that picture. Oh no, it's East Side Comedy. Okay, I thought it was here at Gov's. All right. I don't know what he's. We're like 5 minutes in. What could you have to yell at us for now? We haven't even talked about anything yet.
I want to comment on your very special guest. I'm not going to call when he's on.
Oh, okay.
Because the show is his. All right. I'm very happy that you have on Bob Nelson, great comedian. I remember him well.
Yeah.
Tell Kaplan to take his fucking hat off the desk.
Oh, for Christ's sakes!
All right, take that stupid beanie off the desk.
Good call. This isn't your living room.
Yeah, but how does he know Carhartt's not giving me money to promote their product?
Oh. Let me tell you something. All right, you and Carhartt sleep together. All right, I'm surprised you don't have Carhartt pajamas.
No, I think that's his friend Carl Hart that you're talking about.
Yes.
Whatever. I don't know.
That's Saturday night.
Listen, all right. That's very rude. It's very, very unprofessional. You're a professional. You're not like Andy. So take. All right, take your hat off. That's goodbye. Have a great show, guys.
Thank you, pal.
Love you, pal.
Vicky's watching. She says,
God,
"Hey there,
Vicky,
so
Lord.
excited to see Bob Nelson. Loved him ever since I saw his football butt.
Well, that's his
Bit.
big bit. Yeah.
Yeah, the football.
Oh, Vicky's not excited to see me.
Nobody's excited to see you except for John.
Oh,
Yeah, the football stuff, all the stuff with the balloons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Oh, that was.
My brother was in here the other day, and we were talking about it. We saw Bob Nelson. It was either 85 or 86 at Westbury Music Fair, opening for Rodney. What a freaking show, man! And honestly, Nelson blew Rodney off the stage. Nelson was the better of the two that night, anyway.
Wow.
And believe me, I'm not saying Rodney was bad.
Oh yeah, Rodney's great. Sure.
What a great show! I mean, and that was probably that was just as Bob Nelson was starting to pop. Like his prime, his peak was late '80s, early '90s.
Late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah. So so very. I always think of that. Think of that. Like that was probably. That might have been the first like real comedy show I went to. I mean, my mother used to drag me to Donnie Marie shows when we were kids, and Barbara Mandrell, and I remember the Osmonds. They always had that same guy. Like he was even on their TV show. I forget his name. Anybody? Frank, are you out there? What was that? That was that bad comedian that used to play on their show and always opened up their live shows. He had long dark hair. I remember I can see his face. I just can't remember his name. But I don't know. But those guys were like. I don't know. I don't want to say hacky, but they were corny. They were
corny, hacky. That's a good term.
So seeing Bob Nelson and Rodney was like these were the first real comedians, guys that were cursing and telling dirty jokes and stuff. And that was like my first real comedy show. Rob Seyfarth, that was a great show. You're right. Rob was with us. Rob drove because Frank didn't drive, and I was too young to drive. Me, Frank, and Rob. We saw. Yeah, Nelson and Rodney. We saw Stephen Wright together. We saw a lot of great shows. Oh, there, Johnny Dark.
Johnny Dark.
That was his name, Johnny Dark.
Johnny Dark.
Are you sure about that? That doesn't ring a bell at all.
That is your brother. He wouldn't tell a lie.
Oh no, he wouldn't lie. He's just stupid. So, we also had a bet. No, Johnny Dark. I know Johnny Dark. I'm actually friends with him on Instagram. No, that's not who I'm talking about. It was a different guy. At least I'm pretty sure it was a different guy.
Johnny Dark is married to a woman named Susan Barger.
Barger.
No, that's not the comedian.
Oh, never mind. Frank. See, now Frank also said that back in the 80s when we saw the Monkees at Westbury Music Fair, he said Joey Cola opened up. And I was like, what?
What?
Joey Cola, who's one of my closest friends now. So I checked with Joey. Then Frank backtracked, and he said, well, it was either him opening for the Monkees at Westbury or he opened for Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember that. So I talked to Joey the other day. He goes, I never opened up for either one of them. So my brother's information is not really solid.
Frank will be okay.
Oh, what? Frank will be okay?
He'll be okay.
Sure.
His memory's a little. I'm sorry. I love you, Frank. You're a great man.
But you're stupid. No. But yeah, so that was just great show. Bob Nelson went on to he had comedy specials on HBO. He was in Kindergarten Cop with Ferrigno with Schwarzenegger. So
was he ever on Johnny Carson? Do you know?
He was.
He was.
He goes back so far. Not only was he on Johnny Carson, he was also on Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin. Oh, that's the tops.
Merv Griffin probably would prefer somebody on him on top. Yes. Was he? He sure came across like he was flamboyant.
Flamboyant. And you remember when Webster was on his show?
Oh yeah, wasn't he like?
It was creepy.
Yeah, didn't he get like a little? Yeah, sound like
a creepy.
Yeah,
like he was bent down. Hi, little boy.
Didn't he keep saying stuff like "You're so cute"?
Oh yeah, it was creepy.
Oh goodness, he was a genius though.
He was a genius.
Didn't he invent Wheel of Fortune or something?
Yeah.
Or he produced it or
He
something.
produced it.
And some other game shows too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like I never understood why this guy had a talk show. Him and Ed Sullivan. These guys had no talent. They were not comedians.
No.
They were. I don't think they were singers.
They were not singers. They weren't actors. They weren't comedians.
Right,
I have no idea.
They would just introduce an act, and especially Ed Sullivan. He would just come out and say, "All right, next is Mike Kaplan." Off he goes.
Oh,
next,
I know.
Bob Nelson.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's all right.
It's your program. But from what I understand, how they got those positions is all political.
Really?
That's how when you do things political, you get those types of jobs.
Let's clarify this. You're saying that they had political connections, so these guys
Political
set them
connections
up?
in the entertainment world.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to clarify. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So they knew the right people, and those people said, "Yeah, you can do this." Okay. But at least Merv Griffin, I don't think he was really a great interviewer, but at least he interviewed. At least he had something to do. Ed Sullivan would just introduce each act and walk off.
And here's the Beatles.
Right. And then maybe sometimes would talk to these people for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What do you think of America so far? Oh, Ed, we love it. Okay, great. And then off they go.
Yeah.
Merv would at least have interviews.
Yeah.
And he was on for such a long. Well, both of them were. They
Long
were
time.
A long time. Yeah.
Like Mike Douglas is another one.
But Mike Douglas, I don't like. I'm a big Mike Douglas fan, actually, and
that makes me a little nervous.
I'm not a fan of him. Like when he would first come out, like to start the show, and there he is. He's like, you don't get much whiter than Mike Douglas, right?
No.
And there he is, like singing, like a hit of it. I want a whole lot of love.
Yeah.
I want a whole lot of love. Like he would sing like current tunes of the day, but like in the Vegas, like
he had a little charisma.
Well, that's the thing. I love his interview style.
Yes.
He would, and I love this forum. Like, I like Jimmy Fallon. I like Kimmel. I like Colbert, but I don't love them, and I don't like now how the interviews just seem so set up. They seem scripted. They're too quick. It's all about bits, and And Mike Douglas, his guests would come out one by one, but they would all stay. So you'd have 5 or 6 people in a half round, and they would have real conversations. And that's why I'm a big Mike Douglas fan. And he seemed to know. He knew how to steer it in the right directions. He knew, like, he would come up with interesting things to talk about. Or the questions would be interesting based on what these people were saying. I remember Muhammad Ali being on there about talking about African American rights.
Oh, yeah.
And there's Sly Stone sitting next to him, all high and like trying to be stupid. And Muhammad Ali turning to him said, "You're a fool," and like the two of them were going back and forth, like that real conversations. Sometimes hilariously funny. Sometimes very interesting, sometimes a little bit of both, sometimes very serious. And that's what I try to do in here. Just have conversations with people that I like talking to that I think could add something. I'm not looking for Bob Nelson to come in here and do his bits.
Right.
I want to talk to him about his
The real
career,
stuff.
and he's had an interesting life.
Yeah.
He was really big at one point. He freaking walked away from it. He put it all aside and walked away from it. And is kind of, at least it seems to me like he's doing it on his own rules, the way he wants to do it. But would like to ask him about it. Hopefully he shows up. Let me just check my phone just in case. You imagine? Joe Franklin, says Rob Safoff. No, I don't think that's it either. Good morning,
Joe Franklin.
Yeah, Joe Franklin was
Wow.
I think Rob is just saying Joe Franklin had a good talk show. Yeah. I didn't.
If you were up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Did
I
he have
didn't
an
watch
overnight
Joe Franklin.
program?
Well, yeah, I think it was like late at night, like
Late at
1,
night.
maybe it was 3.
Yeah.
Well, Rob used to work overnights at not MacArthur, Republic Airport, Beechcraft to be exact. And he used to work overnights, so that's probably why he watched a lot of Joe Franklin.
My dear friend, who I won't mention because I don't want to reveal, knew Joe Franklin very well, and he was quite a character, Joe Franklin.
Oh, is that right? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Ruscio says Ed Sullivan was a newspaper writer.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I don't know much about Ed Sullivan.
No, me either.
Carol Miner says Dick Cavett was pretty good too. Yes,
Yeah, Dick Cavett was
Dick
good.
Cavett was
Dick Cavett
great.
was good.
I loved his.
Well, did Johnny
style, too.
Carson take over for Dick Cavett?
Dick Cavett was not The Tonight Show. No.
Okay, I'll shut up.
No, you're thinking of Jack Parr.
Oh, Jack Parr, thank you.
Jack Parr quit The Tonight Show, and then Johnny Carson.
Yeah, but
came
you know
in.
who the best one is?
Oh, yeah, tell me who, because John just told me who is. Who? Well, no, you tell me yours first.
Oh, who was Johnny Carson's sidekick?
Oh, Ed McMahon?
Yeah.
You thought he was the best? Really?
No, I'm being very facetious. I mean, you talk about a guy. The word politics is going to come out of my mouth a lot today. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
I've nothing to apologize for.
But I mean, you talk about a guy, Ed McMahon, who, I mean, what talent did he have?
He had a good speaking voice.
He had a good speaking voice.
And that's pretty much it.
Me and you have a good speaking voice.
Oh, I would love to have Ed McMahon's job.
Yeah.
I would do that.
The conversation stalled.
It did? Well, only because you said. What the? I thought we were doing just fine. All right, so John. See, all right, so this is John Rusiello showing his age.
Yeah.
He said the best was Art Linkletter.
Art Linkletter?
Yeah.
Really?
All right, my phone's ringing. I don't recognize the number. I don't have Bob Nelson's phone number. All right, I'll take the chance just in case. Hello. Hey, Bob, how are you? Oh, all right, 2 seconds. I'm right there. Thanks. The back door is locked.
Oh, I'll go get it. I get it.
You got it? Yeah? Thanks, pal.
Your show.
Did Ed show up at his house with a check? Oh, yeah. What was that, American Family or something like that? Not Publishers Clearinghouse. Andrew from, did you guys get your outfits at the same place you got those seats? Plajanos, I wish you guys would change places with that. Yep. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. All right, there. All right, so Mike walked back in, and Bob Nelson just kept going. What did you do? What did you say to him?
I said, you're not invited.
Sorry, we don't have time for people like you.
I hate to put his dirty laundry in the street, but he said, it's a long drive. I have to use the restroom.
Oh, I don't know where he lives.
I have no idea. What do you mean you don't know where he lives?
I don't know. I know he grew up, I believe he grew up in Massapequa, but I don't think that's where he lives now. I could be wrong. All I do know is that I now have Bob Nelson's phone number.
You've added to your contacts. And you should call him 1 o'clock in the morning now.
Right. Bob, you playing with the balloons? Andy Plagano said he wishes that we would change places with Ed McMahon. Meaning, because Ed is dead. Oh, Andy, wait till you see. I got something in store for you. Wait till you see the pictures I'm using to promote tomorrow's show. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Carol, Bob, Eppy Epperman in the house. All hail the great, she says. Good morning, Mickey. Yeah, we're very excited to have Bob Nelson in. But he's in his 60s. Don't know how long it takes him to pee, so it could be a while.
I never realized how tall he was.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone's tall to me.
Well, not was. He still is.
He still is.
But yeah, everybody
Did I
is
say
tall.
Was tall.
You did. You said I didn't realize how tall he was.
Like past tense?
Yeah, he's not dead. You just let him in.
No, unless he was an apparition.
Unless it's not him. Some guy's shooting crack in the behind the club.
I'm Bob Nelson.
That happened last week. Andy. So I'm in here. Andy comes in. He sits down, and I hadn't had breakfast. So I'm telling you, it was this quick. Andy sits down. I go, Andy, I was just about to get up and go next door. You want anything? He says, no. I walk out. I push open the door, and there's some guy standing there. He's got a big green winter coat, and he just kind of does one of these. I do one of these. So I close the door back, and I'm standing in the hallway. I come back in here. Andy at this point he goes to the bathroom. So I'm like, what the fuck? I go back out, and the guy was gone. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know what that was. There he is. There he is. Bob Nelson has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Hello there, Mr. Nelson, sir. Right there? Yeah, sure. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
Stuck in between two bald guys.
You're a quick peer. Yeah, I'll take my hat.
There's something you didn't know about Bob Nelson right there? Get out of here with that. Nice to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
How are you?
All right.
Yeah?
Pressing on.
Pressing on. Good answer. Well, all right, can we Let's start with that. You feeling good these days?
Yeah.
Do you know Richie Byrne?
Yes.
He broke that.
He broke that?
Yeah, I just want you to know that.
I complain about it every week. At a nice
Yes.
establishment like this, you have to scrape your elbows.
Fancy stuff going on here. So you're feeling good?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
You look
Feel good.
Yeah, this is the second time that we've met, and you look good. You look healthy.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah?
I still have issues.
Okay.
You know.
But
I call them internal plumbing issues.
well, don't we all?
That's the best way to describe it.
Well, I'm glad the doors are closed then after you just went to the bathroom. Are you cancer free?
Yes. I just had another CAT scan last week.
Nice.
I was supposed to go for a consultation, but I canceled it. But
oh, really?
It's still good. Still good.
Good
Yeah.
for you. That must be a relief, huh?
Yeah.
Because you went through it.
Oh yeah. It was rough, man.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was really very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to, do that.
Very aptly put.
Do you know anybody that does?
No. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, even my enemies.
Yeah. Well, it was a good. I found it to be a good weight loss plan.
Yeah.
But when I had it, I mean, of course, I gained a lot of it back, but but yeah, a good weight loss plan. So congratulations on that. That's great news. That is great news. Also, before I forget, I'm going to wish you an early happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Your birthday is Sunday.
Sunday the 3rd.
Yep.
March 3rd.
See that? I did my research, Bob.
1958.
Very nice. Wow.
That's right. I looked you up last night.
Yeah. And you, so you're telling him he's correct? I think he knows when his birthday is. Yeah.
It's March 3rd, Bob.
But March 1st, which is tomorrow, you can see Bob Nelson right on that big stage right down the hall. Governor's Comedy Club, Bob Nelson. And we, at some point today, are giving away 2 passes, if you'd like to see this gentleman tomorrow night. A Long Island legend right here. Very excited that you're here. They had the benefit for you, was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, I want to say, I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
All right, so not counting that, when was the last time you played here? It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it was before the cancer, so I guess it's at least 3 years.
Okay. I was thinking longer. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
maybe it was. Well, at least 3, so it's longer than 3.
And do you consider this like home base?
I used to, but then I wasn't working here so much.
All right, never mind.
They would give me the little room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
No.
I'm telling you.
Who do we got to talk to around here?
No. It's everything's cool. Everything's cool.
Wow.
I live like an hour from here now. I live out in the Pine Barrens.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Ridge
Ridge.
Ridge, you live
over
in?
by
Yeah.
Rocky Point and
Yeah, sure.
So you live near me. I live in Coram. Yeah.
Corum's closer than
Yeah.
Ridge.
You have to drive further.
I'm way out. I'm by the William Floyd Parkway. But
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. It was a weird thing trying to get booked in here. I didn't know how to, because I booked myself.
Okay.
And I don't know how to ask for money. And I've been doing this 40-something years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I still don't. I had an agent. I had managers and stuff, and just I could never figure it out. So I don't. You don't know what you're worth.
Right.
I want to always depend on my audience coming, but since I haven't been around, now I don't know what to do.
See, but I would think that would work in your favor because you haven't been around. So I would think a lot of people would want to get here to see you
if they're still alive.
Right. Do you find it harder to do new material, or like are people just showing up? Like Eppy. Like
yeah, no.
I mean, you still do that, I'm sure.
I have to.
Yeah.
It's funny because people yell out stuff. Some people yell out like they'll yell out like they'll do the duck or Eppy baseball, which is a couple of things, which is different from Jiffy Jeff or the football. So there's like factions of audiences. So somebody goes, "What the heck is the baseball? What's the baseball? What's the football? And so it's kind of because I have so much stuff that's all over the place.
I'm curious because It's Eppy and Jiffy Jeff, Jeff and the football players, and Bartlett does does characters too.
Yeah.
But that seems to be. It's almost like a lost art. You don't see a lot of people doing characters anymore.
Not original characters. You see more people doing like impressions.
Well, yeah,
You know,
right. Yeah, so you're right. That's what I'm talking about. Original characters.
Yeah.
Do you?
And there's
It seems like even the audience, because you
Yeah.
would come out and there's got to be a whole setup and a premise with your characters before you can even. I mean, the faces and whatnot are funny, but like sometimes it might take a while to get to a punchline. Where now it's just so quick with the setup, premise, punch.
Yeah. Well, my characters, when I first started, or I shouldn't say that, in the first 10 years, 15 years of doing this, I never really had segues, Mm-hmm. And then I started doing more stand-up material, which a lot of stuff I forgot because of the chemo brain.
Yep, I
So
hear
it's
you.
like I have this terror when I'm on stage. Like I had this really funny bit. It's a homeschool routine. And I did this whole homeschool routine, and now I can't even remember it.
Oh, wow.
And I panic. And sometimes when I'm on stage now, when I'm trying to do stuff, I'll lose my train of thought completely.
Wow.
And it just like bam, it just disappears. So I have to bail out of the routine. I just either bail or I go into something else. So I think I have to go back to what I used to do back, like in the beginning, where I had no segues, and just have fun, because that's what I've been doing lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into like maybe 15 shows since I started again.
Okay, great.
And maybe less. And I'm having fun. I just I get frustrated when I want to go somewhere with something and then I lose it, especially when I start talking about things. When you start talking about real life or things that are in the news or whatever, and then I just get totally confused. I start mixing the stories up.
Well,
I'm ready for the presidency.
But that's a bit in itself.
Yeah,
the chemo brain, and then you can kind of go all over the place, really, right? That would be funny.
It's getting better. It's getting better, I must say. But if I just concentrate on having fun and not worry about the segues so much, to make things work, because you're right, it is old. It's old school comedy, doing characters like Jonathan Winters,
right?
Red Skelton, Jerry Lewis used to do a lot of characters in his movies,
right?
And
Jackie
Gleason did a lot of characters, and you really don't. I don't think you really. I can't really think of anybody. Who
Right,
does
exactly.
characters.
And it
Bartlett and me.
Yeah, but Bartlett.
There's got to be more. There's got to be more. Oh, Jeff. What's his name? Jeff
Dunham.
No, the guy who does the deep fakes. Why am I going? See, that's the blank
I hear
I'm
you.
talking about.
Yep.
The deep fakes.
Yeah, he does really good deep fakes.
Okay.
Jeff. Oh my God. Help me, Lord.
Not Foxworthy.
No. Right. See, now I got it. Now it's gonna bother me the whole time now.
Let's see. Deep fakes.
Comedy. Yeah, he does really, really incredible.
Original characters?
No, he does deep fakes of like
Smith?
No.
Jeff Beer?
No.
Jeff Kroom?
No.
All right. So the computer doesn't know either.
The Google is
Jeff Richards?
Jeff Richards.
My apologies.
Right?
I don't know who that is. Jeff Richards, right here.
Jeff Richards show. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I don't know who that is.
He does. Yeah, that's him. You gotta watch him do some stuff. He does Louis Anderson. He does.
Oh, really?
He does Dustin Hoffman. He does Jimmy, not Kimmel. Jimmy, the kid who's on the Tonight Show. What's his name?
Oh, Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Fallon.
Yeah, he does. He does a whole Gene Wilder. Oh my gosh, he's hysterical.
Oh yeah, I got to check this out. This looks
does
great.
He
There's a Dustin
He does
Hoffman.
a deep fake thing, and it's,
Anthony Hopkins and
Oh,
Bill Burr. Yeah, all right. Yeah, this looks great.
What he does is he talks to a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
As the different people. His latest one he's been doing, which is hysterical, is what the heck is his name? The guy Gary Busey.
That's funny.
God,
that's funny. But see, that goes back.
Yeah. He was on Saturday Night Live. He used to,
Oh yeah, but that's not original characters.
No, but
What
he
you did.
takes these characters in places where it's, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, original characters I don't really see. I'm trying to think.
Robin Williams was good at. I missed that though.
Yeah.
I
Right. Robin Williams and Billy Crystal. His
Billy
character.
Crystal was one of my favorite. I wish he would go back to stand up. He was one of my favorites back
Yeah.
then. I used to love watching him. That bit with the he would just take out posters,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
put in
yeah,
front
yeah,
and
yeah.
just have the cutout with the mouth, and then he would do all these different people. Then he just put a dog and he just stick his tongue through. That was so funny. But yeah, I do. I miss that, and it does seem like a lost art. That is one of the negatives I feel of Seinfeld getting as big as he was, because it just seems like ever since then everybody's trying to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so like the art of characters, yeah, I just feel it's gone.
Yeah.
So
you don't see it. And
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any new young guys who are doing it.
Not that I've seen, haven't seen any here.
Yeah. Rob Chaffee, who passed away.
yeah.
Good friend of mine. I'm like totally lost.
Oh, is that right? You guys
Yeah.
were close?
Oh, we were very close.
Oh, wow.
We talk every day. I'd
Oh,
be
wow.
walking my dog and I call him, and now I
Yeah.
walk my dog and I can't call him. And
Good guy.
it was
Really,
just
really good
yeah,
guy.
He was a real sweetheart.
Yeah, that was very sad.
So
Hmm.
you got to see this. My wife was texting me because she's watching. She's telling
Ah.
me, camera straight ahead. Which
Yes.
Which camera is it?
Yep, this one right here. Yep.
Okay, so she's saying, energy level up, please. Camera straight ahead.
What's your wife's name?
Trish.
Trish.
Trish,
Hi, Trish.
also very nice. I had the pleasure of meeting her that night at
Yeah.
the benefit.
Oh,
very
she's
nice.
So funny. We just did Leisure Village, which is where
Oh,
we live.
yeah.
We live
Nice.
out in Leisure
okay.
Village.
Oh, yeah.
And it was for all the old folks, and she does the sound. We have a 360 like
Very
yours
nice.
there.
Yeah.
And she plays all the different music and sound effects and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And I just have a ball when we do that.
Nice folks there.
Yeah. And she's a big help because like with this, she just texted me and told me look at the camera and energy
right.
up, energy up.
Energy up.
It says midnight for me.
Yeah, right.
I'm not supposed to go to sleep now. But it's so much fun because when she's working the 360, if I get lost or something, she'll just start playing music.
Oh,
And then
really?
I have to go into whatever the music is.
Right, and the music helps.
Wow.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. You associate certain bits with certain music.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
that's
right,
great.
right. So she'll.
So she kind of gets you right on
Oh
track.
yeah, and she'll stop me. She'll say something. She'll, I love it. It's just so much fun.
Very. So we have her to thank for you working your way back.
Nice.
Yeah.
And well, and that was a nice segue. Speaking of your wife, I just saw. We're gonna get a little personal.
Okay.
I just saw a video of you from the comic strip, where you're talking about finding faith and problems with your marriage.
Yeah.
I found this to be a very interesting story.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, I do. I do a lot of churches, and I get to they call it a testimony. When you
Right.
talk about what you went through. So God is big in my life.
Right.
It's very important, and I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, and I really believe that it is a personal relationship, and He's there, and it's just up to you to accept that He's there, and so when I do churches and stuff, I talk about real life problems, like when I was doing comedy years ago, you're on stage and it's like an ego thing.
Sure.
And I always wanted to burn the guy going on before me. I wanted to go up and make him so they forget him. That was my mindset, Be really funny and
which is a healthy thing to a point.
yeah, it's competition to
Right.
blow people away.
Right.
But then there's the other side where you're on stage and there's like pretty girls in the audience and you start playing to them. And you start getting lustful and stuff. When you're married, that's not a good thing.
Right.
So I share that stuff because it's like your whole comedy is so scary because it's so competitive, and you never know what other comics' motives are.
Okay.
Some guys, I've had times when I'd meet someone and it's a really nice guy, and we start playing racquetball together. And he's asking me questions about comedy. And I'm like, I don't really want to talk about the comedy now. Let's play racquetball.
Right.
And he just thought, I didn't realize it. They just start picking your brain. And the next thing you know, they're trying comedy. And then they're doing things that are similar to things that you talked about.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's like, whoa. So you get really guarded.
Sure.
You get guarded, and then you start to manipulate people and things, and my wife, she saw that happening, and she would always, because she, like now, she's telling me, look at the so she would always try to help me and explain to me, what you do, that's not good what you're doing there, and of course you fight it because you're the star,
right?
And so when I talk about things personally, and like going through the cancer, now I talk about a little bit, and I make jokes about it, of course,
sure.
With the getting a colonoscopy and all that stuff, and then after the show, all these cancer survivors come up to me and say, "Thank you for talking about it," because most people don't even want to talk about it,
right?
No.
Yeah.
One of the things, like when I was on Facebook, I didn't want to even tell people that I had what I had, but something in me kept saying, no, you need to share.
Sure.
Because sometimes people say, they get on Facebook and they say, I have this thing, pray for me, and I'm doing really bad, and they won't tell you what it is.
Right.
No. And
right.
like, and then I'm like going, come on, man, what are you doing?
Right. And everybody's curious. Like,
yeah.
What's going on?
Is it really bad?
But I agree with
bad?
you. I think we all should share our stories with other people.
And it really helps. I get people coming up to me and saying, I went through the same thing, and I know what you went through, and then people who are going through it, they ask you questions, and then you can tell them what your experience was, and what helped you, and so God puts you through things to show you where you're at and what you should be doing. It's like the thing about God, when you get older, like I'm getting older, so you start thinking about what's next. Because you can't, if you're a believer, you believe that there is a heaven.
Right.
So I'm always thinking about heaven. How do I have an eternal perspective, and what am I doing here, and how am I supposed to help people? I have a lot of people come up to me and say, your comedy helped me so much. And,
Oh, sure.
And got me through some really tough times. People say, we're married because of your football routine.
Right.
Or whatever, and God is in that. It's like a ministry, it's kind of strange, but it is. Red Skelton said laughter does good like a medicine. So when I was doing my comedy, it's medicine, for people, and that's why I try to work clean. Because Red Skelton once said to me, he goes, once you start cursing in your comedy, it's like putting poison in the medicine,
right?
And it doesn't have the healing effect it's supposed to. And that really that touched me, because it's got to be a good pure thing, and comedy's kind of strange right now. I can't figure it out. And then the social media on top of it.
Oh yeah,
I look at my stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Right. We talk about that all the time in here. It's you just want, like you said, with asking about what to get paid. You want to get involved in that. You just want to go on the stage and perform. You're the actual product. The business end should be for somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
The going on social media and trying to figure all that out, it drives me crazy.
Yeah. And it's the kind of thing now I see a lot of guys, because I read what people write and comics write, and there's some really, really talented comics out there who aren't really good with the social media and stuff. And then you got some guy who's doing all kinds of filters and and things that everybody's doing on, like they'll take a thing that they do on the internet, and then they'll redo it, and then this person will do it, and then they do it, and everybody's doing the same thing,
right?
And they get big, and they're filling up clubs with people who just kind of like
they show up at the club and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, and
because they've never even they never finessed a good set.
Yeah, no, I mean I was blessed to start when I did, the late 70s, and then in the 80s, it kind of had a comedy boom. There were more clubs than comedians.
Right.
So everybody was working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now there's more comedians than clubs.
Yes.
And it really, the bottom line is the dollar. So if you're an influencer or whatever they call themselves, or how it works.
Right. It's true.
They come into the club and, it's packed.
Oh yeah,
and it's great. It's great for the club. I mean, God bless
yeah,
them,
of course.
But like you said, what do they do?
Right.
I've never gone to one of those shows because I know what they do on the internet. Their faces all
right.
They're talking like this with their teeth. Yeah. How do you do that?
Right.
When you're live on stage,
Yeah.
And again goes back to you and even guys like Cosby. You didn't need the filters. You guys, you had faces of rubber where you could make all sorts of crazy funny faces.
Jim Carrey. There you go.
Jim Carrey.
There's a character guy.
Right.
And he's not. I don't even know if he's working anymore.
Yeah, he still pops up here and there.
Jim
but-
Carrey.
I don't know, in the comedy scene, I don't think he is.
yeah, right. I don't recall
Yeah,
him.
Jim Carrey. Oh, amazing characters.
Oh, sure.
Fireman Bill, whatever it was.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
He just crazy. Loved it.
When you were doing those characters back in the day and getting started, when did you realize that that Bartlett was just like dead weight and you should be on your own?
Bartlett is just incredible.
He's a master.
He's a machine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I think we were talking on the podcast that I did with him. He just would amaze me because I learned when I do my improv, I'm kind of like, I do have my characters and I can lead.
Right.
But I really like to enhance whatever somebody's doing. Like Bartlett has this mindset. I don't know. He just like he gets in the car and says, "Come on, let's go," and then you ride with him and you have to go with where he's going.
Yeah.
Because he's so powerful.
Right.
And you don't know what turn he's going to take or if he's going to go fast or go slow or back up or go So you have to. I learned to follow the guy.
Right.
And
Well, you told that night of your benefit, and I was actually telling Mike about it just before you got here. The night of your benefit, you and Rob sat on that couch for almost an hour.
Yeah.
And for me, I saw you at Westbury with Rodney, 85, 86, whatever year that was. And so then to see you two, 5 feet away on this couch, reminiscing, going into your old bits, talking it brought me back to the 80s as a kid watching. It was such an amazing night for me. But you told a story where you guys would be on a train and Rob would then start pretending he was blind.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gets on the train and he's going, are we going to see Father Florian? I'm going, what? Go, where are you? And I'm right here. And he'd be touching me, and he touches my face, like, okay. Anyway, are we gonna go see Father Florian? And people are like going, oh, this guy's blind. He's talking to this other guy, And the whole time, did we just turn? Did the train turn? He would just be doing all this funny stuff.
It's hilarious.
And you wouldn't know, so that's where you said where you had to follow.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You
And
didn't
then
know
I
where
would
he
just
was
have to
going.
go with whatever story he's going. He'll start bringing up like I don't know Father Florian.
Yeah.
Who's
Who's
Father
Father
Florian?
Florian?
Where is he?
That's fantastic.
I think
That's
he's and he'll just
hysterical.
start saying he's on Fifth Avenue. We got to go to Fifth Avenue. Does anybody know how to get to Fifth Avenue? Like people on the subway or whatever train they're just in shock.
When you guys told the story that night, Rob said that he would then ask, "Where are my pencils? Where are my pencils?"
Yeah. He
funny.
would not break character.
Yeah.
I mean, once Rob gets into a character, he's there. It's done. You have
there's
to
no
stay.
breaking
That's
him.
why he's such a great actor. I know
Right,
he's
yeah.
doing something at Seven Angels Theater. He's doing Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah,
I
right.
wish I could
really?
drive somewhere. I can't.
Wow.
I can't fly yet because I still have the issue. So
Oh, okay.
I don't like now. I'm starving. If I eat something, I'm in the bathroom. That's the way it is.
Well, then,
So I have to starve myself for the shows or for whatever I'm doing if I'm going
or
somewhere.
take a tray into the bathroom.
Gotta go. If I go shopping, I can't eat before, and then I go and I buy everything.
Right.
I haven't had the pleasure of talking to someone like you, a legend. But I have. Tony knows what kind of comedy I like. I was brought up by my father, Jackie Gleason, Rodney
Right.
Dangerfield. Very clean comedy, not
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
So, me personally, I think most anybody can get up there and talk. F you, sex, all these
Yeah.
things that are funny, and I know Andrew Dice Clay, he's a legend, I understand.
Yeah.
But I just think it's almost a lost art what kind of comedy you, Rodney, Mr. Bartlett,
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, it's a personal it's a personal it's a personal
Yes.
preference, and I get when like if I watch a young lady on stage and she starts saying really horrible stuff that's a little bit too personal or graphic and describing things, the dad in me comes out like,
Sure.
if that was my
Yes.
daughter, I would have a problem.
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
And they just kind of like think it's okay, and it's okay for them, and it's okay for their dad or the mom or whatever. But I just get nervous. You know, my wife and I, we watch the ID channel all the time.
Okay.
With all those murder mysteries.
Right.
And
Yeah.
It just takes one wrong move to get yourself into trouble if you're around the wrong people. But so you have to be careful what you say. I mean, you don't want stalkers. You want
Right.
people who know who you are.
Yes.
Sorry. Let's see what she says.
Yeah.
My apologies. She could have come too. I didn't even.
She won't. She
won't get in
she's
front
a
of the
background person.
Okay. All right. She's definitely welcome. What?
Oh, she says, tell the story Red saying you need it now. We're sitting with Red Skelton. It was so much fun to sit with Red Skelton because
I bet.
he was a mentor, and I remember sitting with him because you want to learn, but I was never one to really push myself on other comics or stars or anything like that. Like I was just saying the other night to someone, I don't have any pictures of me with Rodney. I was saying, you have any pictures?
None?
I opened for like 8 years. I think there might be
Holy
one or
cow.
two around where I'm in a group shot.
Yeah.
But I never
Wow.
took a picture like just sitting here with me and Rodney.
Wow.
You know, he was on my special and whatnot.
Right.
But so I was never one to really push myself on people. And I remember one night, my wife and I sitting with Red Skelton, and he goes, hey Bob, I got is there anything you want to ask me? Because I wasn't really asking questions or anything.
Right.
I go, what do you mean? He goes, about where you're at and how you anything. Can I help you with your comedy or with? And I said, something, Red? There is something. It was after a while. I said, there is something. I don't feel comfortable with my colleagues, when I'm on stage with other comedians, like on the same show, because I don't feel like I fit in. And he says, he goes, well, I said, I wish I was born in the 1920s and we could have hung out. He goes, no. He goes, you don't understand, Bob. You're not a comedian. I said, I'm not. He goes, no. You're a clown just like me. And what you're doing is you don't have a circus you belong to, so you're borrowing their stage. So look at it that way.
Brilliant.
Like I'm an out. Yeah. So So then it kind of set me free because I realized, I'm not part of this. I'm more of an entertainer or a variety act, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what kind of category.
That is a brilliant
categorization.
statement.
But it really helped me. I said, I don't fit in with those guys. He said, no. And I said, I wish I was born in the 1920s. We could have hung out. He goes, no, that wouldn't be good. Wow. I was like, what do you mean? That wouldn't be good. I want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Back then, he goes, no, we need you now.
Oh, wow.
Meaning we need me now in
Right.
this time, such as a time as this.
Jeez.
And once I stopped, in 92, when we met him, he actually said, the great thing about you, Bob, is you don't curse in your act. And I did. I cursed a little bit. I did the book, hey, I'm Tony Cappuccino
Right.
from Brooklyn. So I drop a bomb here and there because, that's how they do it. He goes, no, you don't curse at all in your act. I go, no, Red, I do. When I do different characters, I might throw one in here or there. No, not a lot. I'm getting embarrassed. He goes, no, you don't curse at all. You can perform for grandma and the grandchildren and everybody else in between. You don't curse at all. You're a clean comedian. And I was like, what the heck's going on? And my wife says to me, Bob, don't you get it? He's passing the torch to clean comedy to you.
Yes.
From now on, you don't curse. I turned to Red. I said, Red, is that what you're telling me? He goes, well, I was trying to. So I stopped cursing. And I realized when I stopped cursing, I couldn't stop cursing.
Right.
And
it's hard.
And it's the kind of thing where it's just such a part of you. If you hang, I used to work with my uncle way back when I was younger, and it was a body shop, and I do wet sanding on cars and stuff like that. And every other word was an F-bomb.
Sure.
So they going F, and then next thing you know, I'm doing it.
Right.
And now when I watch shows and stuff, I don't know why, but it's like a little jab when I hear somebody say F. And if they start saying it a lot,
Right.
Yeah.
every other word, and what they're saying is brilliant and really funny,
Yeah.
but they keep throwing the F-bomb in there, and I'm like going, why does that bother me? It bothers me. You know, my wife too. It's like if we're watching a movie, and they just start with the language, you know.
So not a Sopranos fan, I get.
No,
I'm teasing.
I mean, no, I love watching those things, but
Right.
after a while, I think I was desensitized for a while there. But then when you start looking at life and you're seeing children around and you're seeing these kids doing stuff and saying stuff and being
Right.
involved in things that are really bad, and
Yes, I agree
I
with
think
that.
it's just it hurts. It hurts me, and I don't know why. Being a dad, I guess.
Right.
And seeing, these young kids doing stuff and they're not really having a direction,
Right.
or the direction
Yeah.
is totally, like for instance, when I first got saved and I started, trying to be a better person and be a Christian and being Christ-like and being loving and caring about people, which was not very easy for me to do at first, It's easy now because when you go through, for me, because when you go through the cancer,
Yeah.
you start to understand what empathy is more.
Oh, yeah.
Because you go, wow, that person's. I'd be sitting there in the New York Cancer Center, and I'm sitting there, and I've got all these tubes going in, and you're looking at all these people and going, oh my gosh, look how many people are suffering here. You
Right.
see these old ladies, and
Yep.
and I'm a comedian. I'm thinking I'm supposed to bring joy, so I start making the people laugh and stuff, and I'm there long because I had such an aggressive treatment going on. I was there for like 4 hours, 5 hours at a time getting the stuff put in. Everybody else would be coming in, getting their stuff, and leaving. And coming in, so the guy in front of me be changing all the time. This one time, this lady's in front of me, and she's just like really in a bad mood, and she's having a hard time. And I said something, I forget what it was, and she started laughing, and then she started coughing, and then she started coughing more, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, and then she started coughing even more. She had COPD,
Right.
which you can't breathe. So
Right.
I feel like I almost killed her,
But-
but it was like,
And she would have it no other way. Even though she was coughing,
she was laughing.
Oh,
absolutely, she
absolutely.
wanted more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell the story all the time. When I first started going for chemo, there was this girl. She must have been on the same schedule as me because I would see her every time. And this girl, I remember when I first saw her. Everybody, you'd watch other guys, like they'd stop dead in their tracks just to watch this girl for 2 seconds. She was just gorgeous. And like I said, we had the same schedule, so I would see her. And after about 3 months, I saw this gorgeous girl just deteriorating.
Yeah.
And I after 3 months, I never saw her again. And who knows? For all I know, she might live right on my block. For all I know, but
Yeah.
I never saw her again. So I assumed
Yeah.
that she didn't make it, and that's always stuck with me. Like you said, these people. There's so many people worse off. So many people that
Yeah.
don't make it. That it really does throw things into perspective a little bit.
You have to have an eternal perspective,
Right.
And
And then also, my cancer was, I was diagnosed in 2002. So 2002, 2003 is when I was really going through it. And also, who would show up for chemo at the same time, I was going to NYU in the city. Richard Belzer, I would see him in there. And this, talk about a funny guy. I don't know, did you know him personally?
Oh, yeah. He'd call me Sparky all the time.
Oh, yeah?
One time, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Quick. I was growing a mustache, and he goes, "What is that?" I go, "What on your face? Get rid of that. What are you doing?"
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
I love stories like that.
I remember him getting mad at people for saying Sparky, because he would call people Sparky from the stage, and then if somebody said Sparky, he goes, "That's my word, Sparky. I say Sparky." And then people go, "What? You don't own the word." He goes, "Hey, he was great."
He was great. And then, like I said, this was 20 years ago, and he just died, maybe 2 years ago? So I think about that, too. That poor bastard was suffering for a long time with whatever cancer he had to go through. It breaks my heart when, to see stuff like that.
It's sad. It's sad. But,
One of our viewers, Carol Miner, says, getting the torch from Red Skelton, no bigger compliment. So great. He saw what the rest of us fans saw. Just genius, he said.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, it really is. It's great. And then, and so, and you went clean before you found faith. I don't know if is that the proper way of putting it.
Yes, I did.
So that must have been hard, I would think, in the beginning.
It was. Trying to stop cursing. It was weird, because you can't. I mean, I still curse in my head, and I hate it. Everybody does.
So you yell at yourself?
Yeah, I get disappointed in myself because I don't want to do that.
Right.
But she's telling me to tell the whole story about going to Caesars. I should do that.
We love Trish, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trish is great.
When I met Red Skelton, what happened was I was opening for Rodney, and I'll tell you, man, Rodney. We used to work at Caesar's Palace all the time, and he used to do this thing where he would go in the sauna after the show.
Right.
And he always wanted to get this, while he was on stage, he turned the sauna on as hot as it would go. And he wasn't happy with how hot it was getting. So he says, it's not getting hot enough, these vents over here. And the guy's going, no, the vents are there so that it doesn't get too hot. And he goes, well, it's not hot enough. Could you block the vents or something? Do something. Make it hot in here. Steam room. So one night, they blocked the vents backstage. Rodney comes off stage, off from his show, and I remember I went up to my room to change because I sweat, and I forget what happened. Something was going on with the dressing rooms, and I didn't really have a place to change, so I went up to my room, and I come back down, and there's water everywhere, and Rodney's standing there, and he's got a towel on his face, and I go, what the heck happened? He goes, there's water, streaming out on the backstage of Caesar's Palace. And he goes, the steam room blew up in my face. And I said, I laughed, like, what? And he goes, what are you, my eyes are burned, man. You think that's funny? And I go, oh, sorry, Rodney. I thought you were making a joke. No, the thing. So it's telling me, what happened was they blocked the vents, and he has his dressing room has to be like, 36 degrees. So his room is really cold, and his sauna is really hot. So when he opened the sauna door or the steam room,
right,
the steam came flying out like a burst, like an explosion.
My goodness!
It burned his eyes, and it actually set off the
alarm
sprinkler system.
Yeah. Oh, wow!
Yeah. So the sprinklers all went off, and he burned his eyes. And so what happened was he ended up not doing some shows, and we didn't get paid. I didn't get paid. He didn't. They weren't going to pay him, and then he sued them, and he left Caesar's Palace to go to Bally's. So when we went to Bally's, Red Skelton used to do Caesars, so I never got to see Red Skelton. So we're in Bally's, and Red Skelton's across the street, and it says, Red Skelton tonight, Red Skelton, and his name is in Red Skelton. And my wife and I go, oh my God, Red Skelton's here. So I was like, we gotta go see him, What time's his show? His show started after our show, and I could finish my show and we can make it. So I said, let's go see him. Now he doesn't know me. I know who he is, but I never met him, and we're running across the street from Bally's to catch the show, and we go into Caesars, and of course security knows me,
right,
from working with Rodney there, and they said, yeah, come on in. You want to watch the show? I go, yeah. So we go in, and then security comes up to me and says, hey, Bob, Red wants to talk to you. I said, no, he doesn't. He goes, no, he wants to meet you. He wants you to come backstage now. I said, this show's going to start in like a half an hour. I don't think he wants. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
He goes, no, I'm serious. I said, he doesn't know me. He said he knows you. He wants you to come back there. So I said, no, you guys are going to take me in the back. You're going to tape me to a chair because you're going to tape me to a chair, and you're going to make me sit there and watch Red Skelton from the wings or something with tape over my mouth or whatever. So I tell my wife, I said, you're coming with me because they're not going to tape you to a chair, and you could always get me out of the chair. So we go backstage, and it was true. Red Skelton said, hello, Bob.
Wow.
And I said, how do you know? I thought you on Johnny Carthen. And you did the pantomime routine. And when I introduced it, I go, this is my pantomime routine with sound effects, and I talk during it. And he goes, oh, by the way, once you start talking in your pantomime, you're automatically disqualified from that category. So it's like, I am. And he goes, yeah, that's why you're not doing a pantomime. You're doing what I would call a verbomime. I said a verbal mime. I never heard of that.
Mime.
That's great.
I just made that word up, so now you're legitimate in the business. And the verbal mime showed up in the dictionary like a couple of years later.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's still there, but
Wow.
it says
They give him credit?
Yeah, he probably put it in there because he was a Mason too. Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had. I think he made a lot of rules.
That's a great story.
But, yeah,
That's a great story.
he was just incredible. I just, we sat there in his dressing room that night, and he was drawing on this. He used to take the napkins from first class. They used to have those cloth napkins,
Right.
and he would draw on the cloth napkins on the planes, and give them to the stewardesses or whoever was sitting around him. And he had one of the napkins, and he was laying on his bed, and his feet hurt him so bad he would take his shoes off halfway through his show. But he was drawing a clown with pencils and stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's looking over, and he's got the cigar in his mouth, and a little bit of spittle fell on the thing. So my wife's going, "We have his DNA. we have Red Skelton's DNA." But he gave us the picture of the clown, and my son was just a baby, and he wrote to my new old friend Noah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And so we have that.
Yeah,
actual
hanging up
thing.
somewhere, I hope?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's
And then
incredible.
we got to meet him quite a few more times, Carnegie Hall, and I forget maybe where else we saw him, but yeah, and he would always meet with us and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he was watching Carson, and he saw me do my Carson bit, so that's how he knew who I was.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Blew me
That's
away.
amazing.
Yeah.
Did you ever go over bits with him or anything?
No,
Did you do that with
I did
anybody?
see-
Well, probably like in the beginning, Bartlett, I'm assuming. but-
Yeah, no, I was always very protective of my stuff because when I first started doing comedy, and comedians would say, because it's competitive.
Yeah.
They go, I don't even know why that's funny. Why people
Right.
even laughing at that.
Right.
And then I go up the next time and it wouldn't get a laugh. I'm going, what the heck?
I was thinking
It didn't work that time.
You had the bit with the they're not napkins, but the
Babushkas.
babushkas,
Yeah, silk
where you would
scarves.
juggle them.
Yeah.
Which hilarious.
Yeah.
But that did cross my mind. As I was trying to think of things to talk about today, I would think sitting alone at home or wherever you're going, coming up with new bits, juggling the babushkas. I would How do you know that's funny unless you're doing that in front of an audience?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
didn't run that by anybody. You would just go out and do it.
Yeah, no. A lot of times I would just go out and do the brand new piece when I had I had a show at the East Side Comedy Club.
Right.
Every Sunday night. And what I would do is I would go up with a brand new thought in my head and just do it.
Wow.
The first thing, which was probably not wise, but I had such a good following back then.
And that was kind of the
was.
thing back then too. You guys,
try new
Jackie and
stuff.
Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
like you would try
Very
yeah.
improvisational. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, I got to get that back. It's so hard because people want to see, they want to see my classic stuff, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And I love doing it, and I have fun doing it, still to this day. But I do want to write new stuff, and I have to. It's like I'm stuck. Once I got sick, I didn't understand what was going on.
Right,
when you get cancer and stuff.
Oh
you
yeah,
start thinking-
yeah. The whole world stops.
and when I became a Christian, I thought I'm supposed to become a Christian comedian. And then God put the brakes on that. No, you're not supposed to. You're a comedian who's a Christian. You're not a Christian comedian.
Okay.
And so when I do, churches and stuff, it's like I'm like a middleman. People who know me from the world come into the church to see what's going on with this guy. Why is he in the church?
Yeah.
And I think it's important to hook into why you're here.
Yes.
And I really believe in God. I mean, some people don't.
Right.
But
You're talking about our purpose.
yeah, your purpose, and there has to be. I mean, it all makes sense. What does man do? Man makes everything. We make cars. We make this. We make love. We make trouble.
Yeah.
We make everything.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense to me that God made us in His image, and it's
There's a comedian. You familiar with John Ziegler?
John Ziegler sounds familiar.
He just recently, maybe a year or two ago, beat cancer as well.
Oh.
he does a lot of it in his act, and it's like it. You talk to any comedian that like pedophilia and cancer and rape; those are taboo subjects.
Yeah,
but
right.
he's worked it out in a way it's excellent.
Yeah.
And I really think the chemo brain is something that could be funny.
Well, I do a couple of things. Like I say, I was afraid to get the I was afraid to get the colonoscopy, and the guys explained to me it's like a 5-foot camera thing that scrolls up there, and I said 5 feet. I said, could I? And I'm going to pay you for this, to do this to me. I said, can I do half of one? Could I do like 2.5 feet? You give me half off? Like a semi-colonoscopy?
A semicolon. That's funny.
That's the kind of stuff I've been coming up with. But,
That's great.
Yeah.
Let me. So before we go any further, like I mentioned, we're gonna give away 2 free passes to come see Bob Nelson tomorrow night at Governor's right here in Levittown. What I'd like to do, if any of you guys who are watching, I'd like to hit you guys with a trivia question, and then the first one to answer it will get 2 free passes. So the question is, I want you guys to name the movie. So Bob, of course, was in several movies, but name the movie that Bob did that Howard Stern appeared in.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And
That's a good question, Tony.
It's a hard question.
It's a hard one.
Right? It's not really a known...
I don't know how many people will know about
Yeah, it's a hard question. Maybe I'll change the question up if nobody answers it. But there is a movie with Bob and some other great comedians that Howard Stern appears in. What is the name of that movie? Yeah.
Somebody will know.
I think, well...
Probably the guy who did it.
Yeah.
He's probably sitting home in Port Washington going, that was my movie.
And speaking of movies, did you have to, on Kindergarten Cop, did you have to walk on the set naked? Like, how did you... Because you were naked in that scene.
Yeah, I was naked. They put a towel around me, but I had on a jock thing, and I was naked. So they just had this thing pressed on me. This was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
But yeah.
And there's Arnold, who's like,
oh, you know what?
Look at that little thing.
I forgot about this. I did this on a set with Arnold. So I'm embarrassed. I'm with, Pamela Reed was my wife, and when they do these movies, they got to set the lights. They got to move the lights.
Right.
So you're standing there,
right, for a long time.
I'm standing there.
long time.
I'm naked. There's hot lights. I'm sweating. I'm trying not to sweat, and I have a towel on, and so I'm just standing there. And the cameramen are looking at me, laughing like this guy's like not into this at all.
Yeah,
And the scene is where I drop the towel, and I grab 2 pillows and I put the pillows like that.
Right.
But what happens is I'm standing there, and Arnold's walking around doing things, and I'm waiting for them to put the lights. And they said stand here, and I'm standing in the light. So while I'm standing in the light, I start, going like this, doing the muscle stuff, like this, like that, and then I do the crab, that big crab thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And as I'm doing that, I lean forward, and my stomach is going over the towel. So I take my stomach, and I start tucking it back on my towel, and as I'm doing that, Arnold's going through his thing. He's coming in with the
pistol.
With the pistol.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, and he looks at me doing that. I'm doing. I didn't see him there, and then I see him there, and he's looking at me with the gun like this, and then he leaves, and the door closes. Now, I'm standing there, and I'm thinking, did I just insult him?
Right.
Did I making fun of him?
Yeah.
Because he's doing, I'm doing a muscle thing, and he's a muscle. So I start to sweat. Now the makeup person goes, "Why are you sweating?" I go, "What? You're sweating like a beast." And he starts patting me down, and he's wiping me down. Why are you sweating? I said, I think I just insulted Arnold.
Yeah.
He goes, no, he's fine. He's fine. And they're trying to get me to stop sweating, but I'm like freaking out.
Yeah.
and then finally I get calmed down, and then I have to get in the bed. I'm laying there, and and I'm ready to do the scene, and I haven't seen Arnold since I did that. So now they go, and action, and he comes in, and he bursts the door open. And he points the gun at me, and he looks, and he goes, I get what you're doing. I just figured it out. You're doing it. Yeah. You're doing the Boston man. And I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
It took him a while to get it. But
I was going to say, Arnold's a little slow on that one, Arnold.
He's an amazing. He was amazing. I don't
Was
know
he?
where he's at now, but when we were doing we're on set, And it's towards the end of the day, and somebody comes in with a clipboard and says, "Okay, Arnold, we need you to just stay for a few minutes and do a video for the Special Olympics." And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "No, we're just doing a video. They have this thing in Vegas tonight where they're giving you an award. So we're just going to film you accepting the award." So they have the award there, and he goes, "No, I have to be there." And they go, "What?" "No, I want to go."
Oh, wow.
They said, "What? You can't go to Vegas." "I can go. I have a plane." So after we were done, he got in a plane and flew to Vegas, accepted the award in person.
Wow.
And came back. It was on the set the next morning.
Wow.
Before anybody else. And I was like, wow, that's really nice.
That is very nice.
You know, because how many celebrities who would just say, you know,
I don't think not
they would
many.
say, "I'm shooting a movie.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm busy."
right. Mm-hmm.
You know, and I learned a lot to see that little things like it's not even a little thing; it's a big thing.
Yeah, that is a
that's
big thing.
You know,
And it's an important cause.
yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that really happened.
So, so Carol Miner, she lives in Texas, so she's upset she can't be here. However, she says the movie was back in the late '80s. I know it, but lived too far to get tickets. So Carol, you got half the title right. She just wrote PI. You know, I'll give you credit though, Carol. It's close enough. It's not the full title, but it's close enough. So I'll give you guys another chance to come see Bob. But in the meantime, I'm giving Carol credit. So the movie is called Rider PI. When was the last time you saw that movie?
Rider P.
I think I've only watched it like twice, if twice. That was a fun movie.
Look what I got here, Bob Nelson.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Where did you find that,
I play
Tony?
Eppy and a couple
You
of
have that? You own that, Tony?
I just heard of this movie about a year ago, and somebody who was telling me, somebody was saying that you just can't get it, and you can't even find it online like Amazon or anything. So I just started tooling around until I found it, and bought it for $6. And then I told Joey Cole and a few other guys I'd like to have a viewing party where we all watch this together and maybe even record it and show it on here.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting to get some people together.
So many comics in there.
Well, yeah, Hawthorne and yourself.
Yeah, even guys that, you know, there was guys who did like cameos.
Oh, is that right?
Like Maurice and John Mulrooney.
Oh, nice.
Who else? A whole bunch of people. Richie Medavini.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to watch
I
this.
think Jeff Zabrowski's in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bobby Woods.
Oh, wow. Bobby Woods, yeah. Wow, those are the old school names from around here.
Yeah. That was so much fun those days, man.
Yeah.
There was such camaraderie among us, and Bobby Woods is the reason why I stuck with doing comedy, because I had to prove to him that I could do it.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, what happened was I was a theater major at
Oh, you were?
I was a theater major at Nassau Community College, and I was doing plays and a lot of musical stuff, and I was getting into doing some summer stock, you know, on Long Island, playing a hanger on Westbury or whatever, and The Boyfriend and all these things, and so what happened was I was going to college. I was working my way through college. You know, it's a small college. You can work your way through it. So
Yeah.
so I'm a security guard. I'm pumping gas. I'm a stock boy, and I'm doing all these jobs that aren't real that important. You know, like if I'm a stock boy and I tell my boss I can't come in, I'm going to be doing a play in Eisenhower Park for the next 2 weeks. He goes, "You're a stock boy. Who cares? I don't care. Just let me know when you're not going to be here." And I tell him I'm not going to be here next 2 weeks. And so one night, I'm in Volt Information Sciences. Back then, you had to make telephone book ads, and you would paste them up. It was called paste. You were a paste-up artist. Instead of the digital stuff on a computer, you had to take an actual printout of this. You get the border, and then you'd print out the letters, like open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then you would push it down there with your little X-Acto knife, and you would make these ads, and then you would look at the ad, and you'd just say, "Okay, this looks good." And if you ever saw something on there that looked wrong, like I'm looking at it one night, one day. Yeah, it was a night. Actually, it was night, and it says open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the top, and the bottom part says open 24 hours. So I'm like going, okay, which is it? So you have to bring it to a desk where all the secretaries are. It's called quality control.
Okay.
And then they take the ad, and then they get on the phone, and they call up the person whose ad it is. It was Southern Bell, because New York would do Southern Bell phone books.
Right.
So they would call up, and they would call a tractor company, and they would get on the phone with them. And I brought the ad in, and I was listening to them talk to the person, and I was like, you know what? Can I call? So they said, what do you mean? I said, well, let me just be a character on the phone, and I'll call them up. So, this tractor company, and they say, this is the number, and they would dial the number for me, and they hand me the phone. I go, hey, how you doing? This is New York. We're doing your telephone book ad. And the guy's going, who is this? I go, is this the tractor company? Is this Shreveport Tractors? And he goes, well, yes, it is. And I go, well, your ad is kind of stupid. What do you mean stupid? What ad? I'm going, we're doing your telephone book ad, and you're open 24 hours or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Which is it? Because you can't do both. Can you do both? Are you doing both? And he's going, I don't understand what you're telling me. And everybody in the office is laughing.
Right. So
it got to the point that they had to go in the other room while I would make the phone calls and listen on the intercom.
Yeah.
And I would make these calls. Hi, this is New York. And there's the hay and feed. Is this the hay and feed place? And one night I call up a place on Long Island because they didn't dial the area code. So I end up getting. Back then you didn't have to do the area codes.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they didn't dial the area code, and they get a guy gets on the phone and goes, hello, this is Richard M. Dixon, the president. The White House Inn. I go, the White House Inn? What are you talking about? And I'm going, who is this? And he's going, it's a comedy, it's a club, and I'm going to have comedy nights. And I'm going, what are you talking about? Where? And he's going, Massapequa. And I'm going, yeah, I live in Massapequa. There's no such a place. And he goes, no, we're gonna. And I start messing with the guy because now I'm thinking it's somebody from my office in the other room, pretending to be Richard M. Nixon.
Right.
So I start messing with the president, and I start saying, whatever it was all about, what was going on with. So what happens is he starts laughing. I realize it is the guy's legit,
right?
And everybody's telling me, yeah, it used to be the old hideout or whatever it was, and so he goes, you got to come down and do the show on Wednesday. You're a funny guy. You're going to have comedy night, and so all my friends in the office are going, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah.
And I told my friends at the security guard place because I had all these different jobs, pumping gas. All my friends, stock boys and secretaries, they come to my show at the place,
right.
And it's packed.
Well, that's where you met Bartlett, right?
Bobby Woods too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm on stage and I'm killing. Why am I killing? I'm doing basically what Robert Williams did. I go behind the curtain, say I got to go vote, and I get behind the curtain or whatever. And I'm moving pitches around. I pretend there's a safe. I'm making safe noises, and so everybody in the audience is laughing hysterical.
Yeah.
To my friends,
right.
So after the show's over, I'm like, wow, that was fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was improv and this and that. And somebody comes over and goes, that guy at the bar wants to talk to you. I go, who? He goes, that guy. And it's a guy with big, heavy-set guy with white hair, Bobby Woods.
Right.
And I go, he wants to talk to me? And he's got this scowl on his face. I go, hey, how you doing? He goes, I just want to tell you. He's drinking a beer. And he held the beer like this. I just want to tell you, you're not funny. It's only because your friends are here. That's why you got laughs.
Wow.
None of your stuff is funny. It was stupid. And I go, why would you do that to me?
Right.
I was just having fun. What's the big deal? He goes, yeah, I'm done with you. Get out of here. And, so I walk away, and I'm like, I don't like this guy. Right. I don't like him at all. So I'm going on every week, every Wednesday. I'm going on, and I'm doing great. Then my friends stop coming. They don't have the money. They don't have the $5 cover charge to come in. And now I go on stage one night. No friends, no family, nobody. Just the comedians who have been there. And Bobby Wood started the same night I did. Now. Wow. He's doing better. He did, they called him Round Mound of Sound. He did Jackie Gleason and Ralph and Norton. And so he's doing really good. He's doing it. And then I go up and I'm bombing. I'm getting nothing. I'm doing all the stuff that I used to do,
Right.
but I'm getting nothing. I mean, total silence. I mean, it's embarrassing. And then people start, doing that noise like, the little tits.
Oh,
Right,
my
right.
God,
What's this
yes.
guy doing? Idiot. This is horrible. And then, of course, they're drinking and they're like, come on, get somebody up there. So now they're going against me. And I'm like, and then I said something very self-deprecating humor, because now I'm sweating. I don't know what to do.
Right.
And I said, you guys aren't going to beat me up after the show, are you? Like, you're gonna take me to... And then Bobby Woods is in the back, and he goes, ha, 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 that's the first thing you said funny in weeks. Wow. And he's laughing like that. And, he's like laughing at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like upset. And I go off stage, and he says, I said to him, I said, man, what's going on? He goes, I told you weren't funny. It was because your friends are here. You didn't listen to me. And I said, I am funny. He goes, no, you're not. Then maybe you had one good joke tonight.
Wow.
But that's it. You're not a funny guy. You should probably hang it up. I said, I'm not going to hang it up. But I would have.
Right.
If I didn't and if I went through that and I was there alone and because I had nobody to, and he, so he buys me a beer and I was going, I don't want a beer. And so we're talking and I had to prove to this guy that I was funny. So I kept coming back and working on it. Slowly but surely, I got better and better. And it got to the point where we would sit at the bar and do what he did to me as a duo. We make fun of people on stage saying,
That's great.
Yeah, people come up after the show and say, you're not funny. And they would go, what are you talking about?
So you actually became good friends with this guy.
We were naughty. But we became really good friends. And,
were you saying that to people that you thought had potential to help build them, or you were saying it to?
I was just doing it to have fun. I didn't know what the heck Bobby was doing. Like I said, he would lead and I would follow, and it would just be fun to laugh at people. I mean,
I love laughing at people,
and it was sad in a way because it is kind of mean, but then I do talk about how comedians. They roast each other. That's the whole idea, to roast people. And why they do that, they do that to toughen up your skin because you're going to be on stage one time and you're not going to get a laugh.
Oh yeah.
And you want to toughen it up so that you can continue on even though you get beat down. And I've been on stage quite a few times where I'm getting nothing, and and you just have to have this. So I make a joke about that on stage, and I say. Sometimes I'll say, like, for instance, my opening act, Gary was just up here, and when he walked off, because, lots of times you see other comedians say, you're getting fat, or you look horrible, what are you wearing, That joke you did is idiotic, So I said, and like the guy who just opened up for me, Gary, when he finished and he walked by me, I said, nice try. And he started to cry.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
No, it's a joke.
Yeah.
So what was the goal before you started hitting the stage? Like, what was?
So you wanted to be a stage actor.
Tell you the truth, God was always, and I look back at it now, I had no idea God was making it so that I'm supposed to bring joy to people.
Yeah.
The bad thing about what happened to me when I became a comedian, I got all my comedy out on stage, so every comedy was on stage and the serious guy was off stage.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
And then you get really stupid, That was one of the problems with my marriage because I wasn't, people would say to my wife, "It must be so much fun to live with Bob," and then she would go, "Yeah, you would tend to think so," because you're a different person.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are like that.
Yeah. I don't know why, but all of a sudden there was some switch where I started to get embarrassed. Like my wife will say, do the thing, like we'll be at a party or something, be the drunk guy or whatever,
Yeah.
do Eppy, whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to do it, 'Cause you do it in front of people all the time.
Yeah.
But so it was like a thing where you just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
No, I get it. I mean, we're both performers ourselves, and I think it's just a different part of you that comes out on the stage. But it's all you. It's just different aspects.
Yeah. It's an amazing thing doing comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start doing it more in real life. Like at the deli or whatever.
Oh, sure.
You do all the time where. But then you get humbled a lot of times too.
Yes.
One time I was in a deli, And the guy's going, I know you. And I go, yeah, maybe you saw me on Carson or HBO or something. He goes, no, you're Judy Nelson's brother, right? My sister. I work with her at the so-and-so. Yeah, so you're like, oh boy, it's not because Trish said something here. Hold on. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, and I need to figure out another way to get people to win tickets for tomorrow.
Oh.
Let's see.
Then they do the thing where they do the fifth person to call.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that.
The fifth person.
I'll take one person to call. How about, we'll just do it. We'll make it as simple as that. We'll take phone calls. Do I have the graphic for the phone number here somewhere? Yes, I think.
I got to tell you the story about Rodney.
Okay, that'd be great.
This is a good one. This is my wife, because my wife.
Phone number right above my head. Call in and you get free passes to see Bob Nelson tomorrow night at Governor's.
Tony knows I quote Rodney quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what would happen is Rodney would call me every once in a while. Hey, how you doing? You know, I do in my act. I go, hello. Hey, it's me, Rodney. How you doing, man? I go, I'm doing okay. What are you doing? I go, nothing. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, nothing. I go, okay. And he goes, well, I'll call you back when somebody's doing something. And he hangs up. But what happened was I'm on the road and my wife's home, and she would tell me Rodney called and you got to call him up and blah, blah, blah. So one day, because I do a pretty good Rodney in the mornings, and I'm never up in the morning.
Right.
So I'm at a hotel and I call home and I go, my wife answers, hello. I go, hello, this is Rodney. How are you? Patty? And she goes, yeah, it's Rodney. Oh, hi, Rodney. Bob's not here. He's on the road. And he goes, no, just call and say hello. And she goes, oh, hello. He goes, so what are you doing tonight? You doing anything? She goes, what do you mean? He goes, you want to go out tonight? You know, and it's me doing it.
Yeah.
Him. And she's going, what do you mean go out? I just figured we'd go out, go into town, have a couple of drinks, come down to the club or whatever, you know. And she's going, Rodney, no, what? You know, like that. And so I start laughing, and she goes, "Well, you idiot!" She gets so mad at me. She goes, "What did you do that for?" And I said, "I'm just having fun, you know." And she's like, "I thought you were Rodney." I go, "I know you thought you were Rodney." I go, "It's pretty good." Huh? She goes, "Yes, it is good, but don't do that again." And so. So every once in a while, I would call her. I go, "Hello, it's me, Rodney," and she'd go, "Yeah, right. Hi, Rodney." Like that.
Right.
One night, she's there, she's home, and I'm in the other room, and Rodney calls, and he goes, "Hello, Patty, it's Rodney," and she goes, "Yeah, right, Rodney. Hi, Rodney." He goes, "No, it's me, Rodney. Really, seriously." And she goes, you know, she's doing raspberries and stuff. You don't even sound like Rodney. That's, you know,
that's funny.
You usually do it better than this.
Funny.
And he goes, I don't understand what you're saying. She goes, is this really Rodney? He goes, yes, Patty. And then she realized the way he was saying Patty, because he would call her Patty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't call her Patty. I call her Trish.
Right.
So, Patty, you know, so now she realized, she goes, oh, Rodney, I'm so sorry. I thought you were Bob. He goes, what do you mean you thought I was Bob? She goes, well, he does you know, when every once in a while he'll call me up and pretend to be you.
Right.
And he goes, no, he does that, huh? I go, yeah. He goes, well, how about that, you know? Tell him to call me, you know? and the thing about Rodney was when people would do him impersonate Rodney, he didn't like it.
Oh, really?
It's his act. So these guys would be on stage and they're doing Rodney, and especially when they do, especially when they do my jokes. They're up there doing my jokes as me. Write your own jokes, you know. Mm-hmm. Do your own character. What are you going to do me for? So he get really mad.
Oh, wow.
So he calls me, and I go, hello. He goes, hey, it's Rodney. I go, hi, hey, Rodney. And he goes, so you do me. I go, what? He goes, you do me. What do you mean? Do you? He goes, you do me. And I go, oh, you mean I do your voice? He goes, yeah, you're doing. What are you doing? And I go, no, I don't do it on stage, just for Trish. I realize what's going on. Yeah. I go, I just do it to Trish, just to have fun with her. I don't do it on stage or anything like that. I'm respectful, and he starts going, oh, what a kick! It's okay, kid. It's all right. You're really fumbling here, you know. But yeah, so he does. So we're laying on bed, like 2 weeks later. We're just watching television, and my wife's sitting at the bottom of the bed, petting a dog or whatever, and I'm up by the pillow, and then the phone rings. She picks it up. She goes, "Hello, it's Rodney," and she goes, and it was Rodney, and she goes, and she turns around and sees Rodney. She goes, "Oh, he's right there. Hold on, Rodney, he's right here."
Oh my
she
God!
Throws the phone to me. Idiot, you idiot.
That's great. I could sit there and listen to this stuff all day.
Oh, me too.
But so maybe, hopefully, at some point, we'll have you back if you don't mind getting up again.
Yeah, no, sure. No, I don't. I want to work governors more.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure
I
you
didn't-
will.
This was so quick. I didn't even realize it was. When they booked it, they said March 1st. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good because it was what was it? It was the end of like the middle of February, and I'm like, oh, March is next. And I realized.
Oh, so you just booked this a few
I
weeks
just
ago?
booked it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so hopefully we'll have an audience.
I don't see why not. It's
Oh my
Bob
goodness.
Nelson, for crying out loud. That's tomorrow night, govs.com, govs.com. Go make your reservations. Come see Bob. You will not be disappointed. Long Island legend.
Come to the show.
Absolutely. And then, so nobody got tickets today, so maybe I'll try again tomorrow. I just have one. Yeah, why not, right? I'm here. I do have just one last thing I wanted to ask you. You were doing a podcast at one point right around this time, weren't you?
I was doing something.
Or was it like YouTube Live or something?
You know what? I did a podcast with Rob Chaffee, and it was kind of a fun podcast because he would interview people, and I would sit behind him,
Okay.
just kind of interject every once in a while.
Were
We
you-
at a Starbucks.
Wow.
There's comedians at Starbucks or something like
But
that.
were you doing something? I thought you were doing something live right around this time of day. Was it something faith based?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because
I
when
did- I was-
we've been in here for 6 years,
Yeah,
we used to
okay.
put it on, and we used to watch
Yeah.
it while we're doing
I
our
was
show.
doing Richard Anderson with the Hope Church over there in Medford. I was doing. He
okay.
has a radio. I think he sold it to K-Love or whatever.
Oh, okay.
The Christian radio station, but he still does podcasts and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's,
I knew there was something. Right. Okay.
Yeah, holding out Hope Church. I think he's got that. He still has it. I got it. I'm so outside the loop. I'm trying to get myself resituated.
Yeah, but
Like I said,
sometimes
I'm
being outside the loop is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm stuck.
is.
I'm like, I call it being stuck. And I just have to. I have to bust out.
Well, I think coming back here tomorrow night
Yeah.
is a good place to start.
I'm
and
happy for you, Bob.
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm glad you're healthy.
Yeah, me
Yes,
too.
absolutely. Yeah, that's the big thing. It was a real pleasure to have you here today. We thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'm hoping to get here tomorrow night to see the show, and looking forward to more shows here with you. And hopefully you'll come back and join us in here again.
I'd love to come back.
That would be great. And again, I can hear these stories all day. All right, Mike Kaplan, thank you, pal.
Oh,
as
thank
always. And the legendary Bob Nelson.
The legendary.
govs.com. Go see him tomorrow night at Governor's. Who else? Brian McKenna's at Governor's this weekend. Jason Scoop, Renan Hirschberg. Again, go to govs.com and check out their full schedule. We're out of here. That's it for the day. I'll be back here with
Hi,
Andy
Trish.
tomorrow. And then tomorrow night at 8, Donversations. Don is talking to Brian Scalero. All right. We'll see you guys later. Thank you again. This was great. See you guys. For your event today. What will you experience at a Knockem Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knockem Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. She had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private